The 5 weirdest NBA trade targets of the offseason. What's up? My name is Tucker. My socials are right there. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like rating on it. Let's go and get started. We've got 5 players here. We begin with maybe a bit of a surprise. Russell Westbrook, maybe someone you're not thinking a ton about as a trade target, but I continue to stand by the idea that I think that Bradley Beal is going to ask out. I don't know if it's going to be like this offseason. It's not going to be next week or anything, but whether it's this offseason, prior to the trade deadline, I would be very, very surprised if without signing an extension this offseason, Bradley Beal does not request a trade or does not get traded in general prior to the trade deadline next season. And if that occurs, let's put Bradley Beal to the side. He's not part of the video here. What do you do with Russ? We saw where Russ's value was when he left Houston. It was John Wall, and there was a pick involved. Who else do you trade Russell Westbrook for? Can you cobble together multiple contracts to match the 40 plus million that Russ makes? Can you even get over that obstacle? Because I think there are other obstacles here as well about health and about durability and about his fit with other players and about where he could possibly play next if Beal moves on to a different team and he decides he doesn't want to play with Russ directly or indirectly, and that's another guy that doesn't want to play with him. What do you do with all that? Can you even get past the money obstacle? And if you can, how in the world do you value this guy? Does Washington get positive assets out of Russell Westbrook? If they can't, why would you bother trading him away when it's a guy that's going to, at the very least, help you win a couple of games and bring some interest to the team? But if you're trading Beal, you're probably running a complete rebuild. So what's the point of keeping Russ around? Just keep people in the seats if you're rebuilding. And it's just very, very strange. It gets very odd very quickly. And it's so difficult to understand what to do with Russ. And that's the whole point of this video, is like, these are realistic situations. These are things that could happen, but what are you supposed to do with them when they do happen? You know what I mean? So it's a very, very odd situation. And I personally would be really intrigued by it. Again, I think it's something we're probably going to see. And then where does Russ go? Who could possibly trade for him? Is there a Philadelphia trade possibly mixed in there? I have no idea, but I'm interested to see. Next up, James Wiseman. This is a player that continually gets thrown around in trade rumors publicly. And I feel like there's a pretty significant disconnect between the value that Golden State places on James Wiseman and kind of the value that we're putting on James Wiseman when we're making up fake trades. Because this is a team that, I mean, they selected this guy number 2 overall in the draft a year ago, ahead of someone like LaMelo Ball. And this is a smart front office. I mean, they've done a really good job of drafting. And I just don't think that they would give up on someone so easily. And like a lot of the trade packages I'm seeing, it's borderline giving up on James Wiseman. And he can bridge the gap in this new era of Warriors basketball, or he can, as a trade asset, strengthen the possibility of them being title contenders once again while Steph and all these guys are still in their relative primes. But I just think that from a value standpoint, it's a very odd situation because Golden State and everybody else are just in 2 completely different camps, I think, in terms of his trade value. I think Wiseman is a very talented offensive player. And I think circumstantially, it was just a very difficult situation for him to be in as a rookie, which would have been the case for anyone, but especially for him when he hadn't played in a real basketball game for a long time prior to coming to the Warriors, and he did not have a traditional college experience. I know you could say the same thing about LaMelo, but I think the expectation for winning basketball games, for making winning plays, were wildly different for James Wiseman than they were for LaMelo Ball. And so just in a different situation, I think Wiseman's value would be significantly higher publicly than it is right now. But because he went to Golden State, because statistically things were great, because he got benched, because he got hurt, because they got better after he got hurt, I think people were assuming, oh, this guy's a bust. He's not going to be anything. And I don't think Golden State sees him that way at all. So that's going to be, again, just kind of a weird and an interesting situation to keep an eye on. Next up now, number 3, KP, Kristaps Porzingis. There's just tension here. I think that's the part that makes this a little bit weird, is Luka is not in like diva status, I don't think, right now, unless you're just really skeptical about him. But I think he's close with it's just odd for someone like Rick Carlisle to leave Dallas when you've got a guy like Luka. Like, you're supposed to want to coach guys like Luka. That's supposed to be a fantastic opportunity. And so for him to willingly leave, and not leave to go to LA or go to New York or go to a championship contender, but go to Indiana, no offense to Pacers fans, seems a little odd to be like, hey, I've got Luka here. I'm going to go and coach Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon. No disrespect to those guys, but it just seems a little strange to me. And then you've got this tension between him and KP, which I think is warranted, by the way, because I think there's frustration from Luka because KP isn't doing enough. He's not shooting the ball well enough. He's not guarding well enough. And KP got very used to being the center of attention in New York and now is coming to the Mavs. And not only isn't the center of attention, but doesn't have the role that he thought that he would. And there's just a lot of weirdness going on here. There's a lot of disconnect, I feel like, between KP's expectations for his role, what Carlisle thought he should be doing, and the hierarchy between Luka and KP. I think Luka understands the gap is significant between him and KP. I'm not sure KP understands that. And as a result, I think it's pretty likely that we see a lot of KP rumors. I don't know if he gets moved. Just logistically, it feels very, very difficult. He would have to go to a team like Sacramento or like Charlotte that's in like a quasi rebuild that could get a guy like that, see the potential in them because of the youth, and not really care that they're paying them 30 plus because it's like free potential falling out of the sky. It's similar to what some of the Ben Simmons possible trade destinations would be, but ultimately just the tension and the disconnect between KP and the organization, all that just creates a very odd and a very weird situation there trade wise. Next up, Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma's value. There's this weird thing that happens with him because I do actually think that he got better. Like I think that he's done a better job of trying to fit in and get a little bit better defensively and understand passing angles a little bit better. Like I do think there's incremental improvement from Kuzma when it comes to being a role player. The problem is he's been like ever since the Anthony Davis trade went down, he's been like the one asset left dangling out there for years. And it's like, is this guy actually a trade asset or is he just the only one that they have left? And so it's not just the Lakers thing where some fans think that they can trade Kuzma and 2 second-round picks for a star, but it's just people. Not only do people want the Lakers to make a move, they want the Lakers to be good, but also they always seem to do something that nobody's expecting, whether it be the shorter trade from last year, whatever the case may be. And so we're all just kind of thinking at some point that Kuzma and stuff is going to get packaged for somebody that's really going to help the Lakers. And it's very similar to the KP thing. And the Wiseman thing. There's a wide range of values on Kyle Kuzma. Some people think he's a real asset. Some people think that he's just kind of a guy and he's not someone that anybody's going to be particularly excited about. And it's like a poor man's KP type of asset where it's like, yeah, if I'm Sacramento or Charlotte and potential, a young guy that's in his mid-20s falls out of the sky, then yeah, I mean, I'll take a look at him and I'll see what I could potentially do with him. And maybe he thinks he can start averaging 20 a game. I don't know, but it's just, it's so weird to not have a firm evaluation of a guy trade-wise that's been in trade rumors for 2 years. Just the last asset standing is what I think I'm going to start calling Kyle Kuzma. And then last up, Kemba. Made a couple of Kemba trade videos. I think there's a situation here that works really well for both teams. There's a situation here that works really well for both the team and the player. I think Kemba needs to just take a breath. I think he needs to go to Oklahoma City, chill, rehab. If he doesn't even want to show up and play for the team, I don't think they'll be mad, quite frankly. They've got Shea. They're going to draft some guys. They're going to, play some of their younger guys. I don't think Kemba's really in the plans for them this season. And that will allow him to just get fully 100%, no doubt about it, healthy as he can possibly be, Kemba, because he needs that quickness. He needs that speed. He needs that first step. And without it, he's just not the same kind of player. And so if he can refine that, even in short spurts, that'll do wonders for him as a player. He'll make plenty of money, and then Oklahoma City can trade him down the road and can get value out of him a year from now. He can go to a situation he wants to be in, and it all works. The problem with that is I don't know if Kemba's going to have the patience for that, or is he going to turn around and be like, hey, you know what? I want to play basketball. I don't want to sit around for 6 months. I want to play for a team. I want to be in a winning situation. I don't want to waste away my year 33 season in Oklahoma City. That's not something I want to do. So like it's a situation where like I think there's a lot of benefit to him slow playing this and being patient about it. I think it helps the team as well. But the human element comes in. It's like I don't want to, I want to get back into things. I was just in Boston where I felt like we had a chance to do something and I wanted to go there, and then I got dumped, and like I want to prove people wrong. And I weirdly think someone should just talk to me like, hey, chill, wait, get healthy, wait a year, you'll be fine. But the weirdness of the situation comes in with like, I don't know if that's the decision he's ultimately going to make, despite the fact that I think that helps him and helps the team. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think some of the weirdest NBA trade targets, trade situations of this offseason are. I'm really interested to see that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, my name is Soccer. If you missed any of my previous videos, be sure to check out the box on screen. Subscribe for more NBA content every single day. Leave a like rating if you enjoyed it. And yeah, have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace, fellas.